Industrial complex fire in Lamar, and firefighters respond to an explosion that rocked a Joplin neighborhood this afternoon. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, an afternoon explosion rocks a Joplin neighborhood and sends 2 people to the hospital. Plus, authorities investigate the cause of a fire that burned a former industrial complex in Lamar, Missouri. And as vacationers head out to lakes and rivers, we have advice from experts on keeping you and your family safe on the waterways.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Missouri State Fire Marshal's office this evening is investigating 2 unrelated incidents in southwest Missouri, a big industrial fire in Lamar and an explosion in Joplin. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. We start with that explosion that rocked a Joplin neighborhood this afternoon. Apparently sent at least 2 people to the hospital. Authorities confirmed the 2 people have been transported to Springfield to receive a higher level of care. The blast tore through a shed in the backyard of a home in the 2500 block of South Virginia Avenue around 1:30 this afternoon. Neighbors say the force shook windows up to 2 blocks away. Investigators from the ATF have now joined both the JPD and the State Fire Marshal's office in gathering information. State investigators are also looking into an overnight fire at a building of the former O'Sullivan Industrial Complex in Lamar, Missouri. KOAM's Anthony Saviello was there this afternoon and reports on what's now considered a criminal investigation.
You can see smoke and flames still coming out of the structure behind me. What used to be known as the O'Sullivan building is now in ruins. Smoke billowing out hundreds of feet into the air and fire still consuming this structure. We spoke to City Administrator Rusty Rives, and he tells us more about the criminal investigation ongoing into the cause of this fire.
Currently, the Missouri State Fire Marshal's Office and the Lamar Police Department are investigating any criminal activity that may have taken place. My understanding is, as of this morning, they do have 2 individuals detained for questioning. I have not received an update on their status.
Now, this building has a lot of history to it, and many businesses and companies were actually using this building for storage and warehousing. Much of the material inside was fiberglass material, is what we have been told. Now, we actually spoke to a gentleman who works here at the warehouse, and he was here when the fire broke out, and he tells us what exactly was going through his mind at that point in time.
In that moment, I'm a dad. These are my guys, you know. I've been with them for forever, and you know, I didn't want anything to happen to them. So my first instinct, you know, I guess my dad instincts kicked in. I was making sure I wanted to protect anybody I could, even if that meant, you know, risking my life or anything, or, you know, I just wanted to make sure everyone was safe. And, you know, because like I said, you know, this can be rebuilt.
Now, as of right now, we have no real further updates into the investigation into this fire, but it is important to note that anyone who is coming through this area just needs to stay safe and stay cautious. This is still an active crime scene, and the structure is still burning. In Lamar, Missouri, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Law enforcement has not released any further investigation information concerning that criminal probe. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty good day for us today, but the big story, of course, is what's the weather going to be like on the holiday and then into the holiday weekend. Actually, it could be a lot worse for the beginning of July. 86 by noon. Let's go 89 by 5 p.m. Now, we are going to be dodging a few random storms. If you get stuck underneath one, it may rain heavy for 5 or 10 minutes, but they won't last long. So don't cancel any outdoor activities. We had a couple little guys out there earlier today. Now we look pretty good. So if we go through time, I'm going to stop once we get to about the noon hour on the 4th of July. You can see a random isolated thunderstorm or 2 trying to pop up. But overall, I think most of us are going to be dry up into the upper 80s for afternoon high. So it is going to be a little bit on the hot side. 88 for us today, average high, 89 degrees. We're going to look at that holiday weekend forecast for you here in just a bit.
Catching a few. The Missouri Highway Patrol reports that a Wentzville, Missouri man drowned yesterday evening at the Lake of the Ozarks. This is file footage of the lake. Troopers say the 70-year-old man fell overboard from his bass boat at the 8-mile mark of Workman Hollow Cove. They say a bystander pulled the man from the water, but authorities pronounced him dead at the scene. While next of kin have been notified, authorities have not publicly released that man's name. The Army Corps of Engineers and safety patrols predict packed lakes around the Ozarks and Arkansas through Sunday. Many of you will be heading to the water this holiday weekend, but there are some things you can do to safely have fun. For starters, boaters should reduce their speeds and try to give other boats more room. Be sure you have a designated driver, and remember, everyone on the boat needs a properly fitting life jacket. Groups can also be proactive in staying safe by making an emergency plan that involves everyone on board.
Maybe even have a spotter on your boat letting you know where folks are. Table Rock, Beaver, Bull Shoals, all those lakes are going to be very packed. And they've all got high water right now too, so there is some debris floating around. So slow down even just a little bit more and watch out for that floating debris and watch out for each other.
Few other safety precautions. Check the weather consistently while boating and make sure all lights on your boat work. A church in Joplin draws visitors with a sweet tooth out to an annual fundraiser. That story's coming up. But up first, 4th of July grilling traditions face rising grocery costs. Find out how much your celebration will really cost this year.
Weekend only at Ashley.
Well, the summer grilling season is certainly here, and as people hit the stores to stock up on the essentials for summer barbecues, customers, at least in Southwest Missouri, could see lower grocery prices this summer compared to last year. That includes prices for burgers and buns. More appetizing details from Chris Bryant.
My plans for tomorrow, we're going to grill out at my father's.
Grocery stores are busy with people.
Last minute items with the waters and stuff for the family, last minute snack items and appetizer stuff.
And already picked up the favorites before this shopping trip.
Just the hamburgers and bratwurst. Yeah. Yep, and potato salad is my dad's favorite.
But not forgetting to make sure every member of the family is taken care of.
And obviously I have to get a 5-ounce steaks for my 2 dogs because it's a traditional that we do every 4th of July that the dogs have to have the same that we have.
After a round of golf, the menu is pretty simple.
No, I just do the traditional, just the burgers, steaks, filet mignons. So that's what I tend to do for the 4th of July.
While the menu is likely to be familiar from house to house, the prices you pay will vary on the items and where you buy them. But this year, the overall cost of that gathering is just a bit lower.
We all go back to the store each and every week to fill the refrigerator, to fill the shelves, fill the pantry, and it doesn't hurt whenever those prices are just a little bit cheaper. You know, the pennies add up over time, so a bargain here definitely might be a bargain saved for long term.
In 2024, it cost $71.22 for a party of 10, and this year, that cost is $70.92. Pork and beans, potato salad, ground beef, and lemonade are all up this year when it comes to prices paid. However, pork chops, hamburger buns, and potato chips are down, which caused the overall cost to be a little lower this year.
A higher item on the menu this year were beef prices, and the beef industry is still trying to recover from some long-term drought. Of course, we saw a few years of drought, and it takes a few years for the beef industry to recover from a drought.
While the cost nationwide is lower than last year, it is still up more than $2 from 2 years ago when the same purchases cost $67.73.
We see prices that are higher than what we saw in 2020, definitely higher than what we saw pre-pandemic. It's always good for us to remember that farmers are price takers, they're not price makers. So farmers are only taking home maybe about 15 cents of every dollar spent at the grocery store.
According to the National Farm Bureau, you can expect to pay even less, with the average cost in Missouri sitting at $69.87 and in Arkansas at $68.33. If your 4th of July plans have you staying in the area, but you're looking for something to do, well, we've got you covered. Simply scan this QR code. Head over to KOAMNewsNow.com to check out a list of Independence Day events right here in our area. You can find great food, great live music, great family fun, plenty of fireworks shows. Celebrate the holiday right here in the 4 states. When you think of Independence Day celebrations, fireworks, of course, come to mind, buying them specifically. But some local nonprofits, they're hoping it'll mean a boom for fundraising. We caught up with two of those groups today. In Nevada, the Speedway fireworks stand is raising money to rebuild a local Veterans Hall. In Joplin, Watered Gardens Ministries is using its stand to help those without a home.
There are plenty of fireworks stands that people can purchase their fireworks from, but Military Fireworks partners with us on this campus only for this tent right here at 705 East 15th. So we tell folks it's the best place in town to get the best fireworks, but also know that you're going to support guys that are working to turn their lives around.
They do quite a bit and get out. They help our veterans in the nursing homes. Some of this money will go towards that to help birthday bags, Christmas bags, stuff like that for our veterans that are in the nursing homes as well.
It's not just fireworks. The stand at Nevada Speedway will also have dollar hot dogs tomorrow. That fundraising will go directly to multiple nonprofit groups. They say the early bird catches the worm, but at Byers Avenue United Methodist Church in Joplin, the early birds baked up 400 fresh pies today. Starting at 6 a.m., the church bakers whipped up cherry, pecan, sugar-free apple, lemon meringue, and more for their annual pie sale. You still have the possibility of pre-ordering and pick up for Friday and Saturday pies. Remember, it's more than just pie. It's a sweet way to give back to the community.
I think it's individual attention to each pie. There's nothing that is made out of a box or anything like that. We make the crust homemade, fillings homemade, and just years of experience in working together.
All proceeds support local nonprofits. While this year's recipient hasn't been selected yet, in the past, the church has donated to organizations like One Joplin and Crosslines. Doug returns next with a complete look at your forecast. Fun and learning took center stage today on the Quapaw Powwow grounds. We're going to have details of that a little bit later.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Thursday for us today. Mostly sunny skies. There were a couple random isolated little showers out there earlier today, but as you can see, we look pretty good. It's going to be pretty quiet as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Let's walk through the holiday weekend as we go, well, of course, Thursday, Friday, Saturday into Sunday. Temperatures starting right around 70 degrees on your Friday morning. I'm going to go to about the noon hour. We do get a few clouds in here, and you can see a couple spotty little showers, maybe a random thunderstorm popping up. Again, if you have outdoor activities, don't cancel them. We're just going to dodge a few as we go through Friday afternoon. High temps, 88, 89, 90 degrees. Again, a few random storms. Here's 4:30. Let's go to about fireworks time. Now, we lose the heating of the day. The sun sets, so the thunderstorms are gone. So once we get past 8, 9 p.m., we're looking pretty good all the way through Friday night. I do want to watch those showers and thunderstorms out across central Kansas. A few of those guys may try to get in Saturday morning, southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. So we'll keep our eyes on that over the next day or so. And then pop-up storms again on Saturday afternoon. If you're heading to lakes, creeks, streams, camping, whatever, water's still high. And again, we're going to be dodging a few storms. Maybe a little better chance Saturday night into Sunday morning as a complex tries to drop into the region. All right, let's break down your forecast by the noon hour. On the 4th, 86, 89 by 5, 79 by 10 p.m., and again, a few random storms. Pair of 88s, though, Saturday and Sunday, so upper 80s to near 90. But again, some isolated thunderstorms across the region. Humidity is kind of ticked up just a hair. Dew point's kind of 65 to about 70. That makes it feel kind of sticky to kind of muggy. And that is what we are going to see as we go through the next few days. Changes next week. Let me show you what happens. High pressure starts to build in out across the Rocky Mountains. So as this strengthens, so now we're Monday into Tuesday, we get these little waves that rotate around the high. I always call them ridge riders because it's a ridge of high pressure and it's riding around the ridge. What this will do for us is allow complexes of showers and thunderstorms to push in as we go through next week. So we are going to have a couple days next week that we do get some hit and miss storms across the region that we'll have to keep our eyes on. Could give us some decent amounts of rain, maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches as we go through about the next week or so. All right, Sunday afternoon, still some scattered thunderstorms across the region. You can see these batches trying to drop through. We're looking at Monday. Here's Monday afternoon. Temperature is pretty steady, near 90 degrees, but yeah, we're going to have those rain chances returning across the region. 89 on your 4th, 88s over the weekend. Again, we're going to have those pop-up storms. A little hotter for us next week. Humidity, probably have heat indices near 100. Actual temperatures into lower 90s for afternoon highs.
Doug, thanks. Still ahead, 7 local wrestlers prepare for junior nationals in North Dakota. And the Joplin Outlaws look to finish off a series sweep of the Sherman Shadowcats. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
The 2025 Wrestling Junior Nationals take place next week in Fargo, North Dakota, and several of our local wrestlers from Southeast Kansas have earned spots there. They'll be making the trip to the Fargo Dome to compete against the best of the best.
It's a really good experience. It's something I've never done before. I've never done something this big before, so that's new. It gets me out of my comfort zone, and Andy's really been talking about how there's a lot of colleges there, so like you get seen by all these colleges and you get all these opportunities.
I get really excited because it's just more opportunities to be able to wrestle better girls and just grow in the sport and learn more about it.
Exposes me to more things that I haven't seen and just puts me up against better competition.
I hope that everything that I've been practicing for, like I do some of the stuff that I've been wanting to do, like a lot of the moves.
I'm just excited to get some summer wrestling in to prepare me for the season. I feel like if you're doing stuff over the summer, you're definitely going to get better.
I hope it's going to benefit my wrestling season, my high school career.
Well, the people who aren't doing it aren't getting like the work in. And if you are doing that, you're getting extra time in and doing extra.
Switching gears to collegiate summer baseball, the Joplin Outlaws just keep on winning. They've got 7 consecutive victories entering tonight. Outlaws look to make it 8 in a row. They're taking on the Shadowcats, and Tyza Radnick on the mound for Joplin. 3rd inning, he strikes out the side. The reigning Mid-America League Pitcher of the Week would go 6 innings in this contest, allowing just 1 earned run while racking up 7 strikeouts. Bottom of the frame now, Andre Jackson gets things started, flipping a single into right field. He would then steal 2nd and steal 3rd. That brings up Rayvon Morgan, who flies one into no man's land in the outfield, and that will drop down. Jackson scores easily. Outlaws now lead 3-1. Another run scores, and then with 2 men on, Mark Ross comes to the plate, and he skies this one high and deep to the opposite field. That is gone. The Outlaws tack on 5 in the 3rd, and they do not stop there. They explode for 12 runs. They take down Sherman 12-1 in 7 innings, securing their 8th win in a row. In Major League Baseball, the Cardinals have the night off after getting swept by the Pirates. The Royals finish up a 4-game road set against the Mariners. Late start to this one on the West Coast. They're only in the 5th inning as we come on the air. The Mariners hold a 1-0 lead after Jorge Polanco hit a solo home run in the bottom of the 4th. After this one, Royals go to Arizona to face the Diamondbacks for 3 games. And in the past several years, gambling has become much less taboo in the world of professional and college sports, but that still led to a few major scandals recently. According to ESPN's Jeff Passan, Major League Baseball has begun an investigation today into Cleveland Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz after a bet integrity firm flagged 2 separate pitches for unusual gambling activity. The alert reportedly referenced wagers placed on Ortiz's first pitches of the inning on June 15th and June 27th. Both of them were well outside the strike zone. MLB placed Ortiz on non-disciplinary paid leave through July 17th. This comes in the same week that federal authorities have begun an investigation into Detroit Pistons guard Malik Beasley. That's on allegations of gambling on NBA games and prop bets. Multiple financial issues and lawsuits have come to light regarding the 28-year-old, including failure to pay rent on his high-rise apartment in Detroit. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but these leagues take those allegations so seriously because the integrity of their game is paramount.
Yeah, an awful lot rides on that. If you want to keep the fans, you have to have them believing that the athletics is what matters.
Exactly.
We'll be right back.
Phoenix home.
Well, it looks like a pretty good Independence Day for you. 89 for a high. We are going to have 1, 2, 3 little pop-up storms during the afternoon. Not a huge deal. A few pop-up storms on Saturday as well, 88. A little better chance to get some storms in here Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then again Sunday night into Monday morning.
Doug, thanks. Quapaw Child Care Development Fund is hosting a creation station for all Quapaw children on the powwow grounds. Each craft is designed to teach a little of Native American heritage. One of the stations concerns planting crops they refer to as the Three Sisters: corn, beans, and a squash. They also made sun catchers and Play-Doh crafts and more. The event is part of a weekend of fun at the Quapaw Powwow. It's happening through the weekend. Final sports note.
This one's sports tangential, but tomorrow at 11 a.m. you can watch the Nathan's Famous hot dog eating contest if you're interested. Joey Chestnut is the heavy favorite. He's won the mustard belt 16 different times. He was banned last year. He's back again this year. Should be exciting.
Yeah, I think that would be considered sports. Certainly it takes a lot of athletic skill, endurance, for example, and hard training and a strong stomach, I guess.
That's right, yeah.
We're going to leave you tonight with a look at the fireworks above Altamont, Kansas. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great